And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the quarterfinals of the WardiTV Monday number 23. The videos are done, and we are jumping into our second ZVP of the night. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss. It is Classic. And you know what time it is. It's Gamba time, papi. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Coming into this, Solar was able to take down Harston, that is true, but was able to all-in the hell out of him game after game after game. Here, I feel like we have a much stronger contender here. I'm actually going to be favoring Classic coming into this, but personally, I would love to see an ace match. I want a game 3. I want a back and forth between Classic and Solar. I want us to go the distance here. I know we can, but the pressure is on. Here we go. Here we go. As Classic has been looking very in form as of late, and the Classic had a lackluster performance in December. Like December coming into early January, like Classic, he was definitely struggling. He definitely was taking some time off, and that was definitely showing in some of his play. But towards the end of January into February, has been getting much stronger showings here against players like Dark, against players like Gumiho, Cure, Byun, even Hero as well. Of course, Classic infamously did take and defeat Hero in the most recent, was it Lily Cup? No, sorry, in the Lima League, that's it. In the Lima League, he was able to bring down Hero twice in that tournament. It was crazy. Classic did end up losing against Clem, but only against Clem. And it's Clem. I mean, what do you... It's fine, it's fine. He's literally the best player in the world. Don't get much more better than that. But outside of Clem, Classic was looking strong. I was able to come in second place in the Lima League in the Winter Finals. Do recommend it. Do recommend the VODs. A lot of amazing matches were played. That was, of course, last week. But from here, we're just settling in. So far, standard opener. Likewise, we have our Stargate here from Classic. Stargate into Oracle, I would imagine. We'll see if he does deviate. And once again, the early game of ZVP is a little bit more... It's a little bit less versatile here, just droning up, taking out third bases. When it comes to all-ins, as we saw previously, we're waiting for 3-way saturation before we can really get into play. But welcome one and all to Whispers of Gold. Whispers of Gold is one of these smaller maps. The map pool, very small map. Rush distance by ground is very short as well, and aggression can be favored here. We saw Solar all-in Hearthstone 2 games in a row. We could see it here as well against Classic. It would make sense. Would make sense. We'll see if he goes for it. As Classic does threaten the shade. And pulls away. No big commitments yet. Playing it safe. Oracle routed across the map. Overlord is pinned in. And it is that Oracle, not a Void Ray. Okay. We go. So here we're just going to be joining, going to be saturating. When it comes to our players here, again, Solar, he isn't as diverse as players like Shin or Dark. Of course, this week there is no Shin, there is no Dark, but they're typically a lot more exploratory when it comes to their play, willing to go for Nidus play at times, or go for Swarm Host play at times, be more committed into Roach Ravager. I mean, we have seen aggression out of Solar, don't get me wrong, but again, it's been very mid-game oriented when it comes to his aggression. Bit on 3 base economies. But now Adepts stay shade in. They deny any kind of mining here at the third. Evo Chamber's on the way. This should be for fast plus on melee. Into Ling Hydra. As a fast Evo Chamber and a fast upgrade typically indicates we are skipping roaches. Typically. As the Oracles, they hit the third. Up! Getting a drone. Taking quite a bit of hull damage, but the Oracles do escape. They pull away. There's that melee upgrade that we did mention. And Solar, he does hold, losing only one drone. At the same time, moving out across the map. Ooh, there is still a safety roach warren though, so Solar, he's not cutting too many corners. I don't believe he intends to make any roaches, but in case Glaive showed up, he would have roaches available. So Solar playing it safe. Lings, they move out, they catch the Adept, they get some workers as well. 1, 2, 3 probes going down. And last, the Oracles are across the map instead. Drones are falling. There is no Spore, but the Queens, they hold their own. And so far, there was 7 drone kills against 5. Classic coming out slightly ahead. Solar moves out. Getting another worker. That's 6 in total. Up. Almost 7. Classic working towards Blink. Do we have a Forge? No Forge. Uh-oh. No Forge. Earlier Blink here from Classic. And earlier we were talking about how Solar's been hyper aggressive and is going for these all-ins against Hearthstone. That might change here. We might see Classic go for the all-in instead. The fact that there is no Forge is a big tell. He's on 5, soon to be 6 gates. Okay, taking gases. Never mind. Is taking gases. Typically, when you take gases, this is to take up in towards either Storm or Colossus. To take up even further. Towards a longer game state. Stalkers are moving out. And speaking of tech, yep, there it is. Storm. So Temple Archives into Storm from Classic. Is taking up. And meanwhile, Solar, he's going for 3-way all-in. No surprises here. Roaches are amassing. He has a 4th base just for Larva. He's cutting workers here at 63. And Solar, he's working towards Overlord speed. What does that mean? That means German Taxi once again. It's what we saw against Hearthstone on ley lines. It's what we're seeing here on Whispers of Gold. You see Classic being proactive. Forcing out Transfuse. Dancing with the army. Behind this, oh, no shield batteries. No side defense here at the 3rd. Lings, they threaten to run by. They force back the army. They're buying time. And Solar, he is amassing his army. Again, the 4th base, no saturation. There's no drones here, and there aren't going to be any drones here. And here come the Dropper Lords. We're about to load up. Dropper Lords are on the way. Oracles, they confirm. No saturation. No drones. That's a big tell. And back at home. Okay, there we go. We have some cannons on the way. Still no shield battery. Getting a 4th base. Now he gets a revelation. And this looks like a misread here from Classic. As he's not really looking too prepared here. Storm will finish, true. And that's a little High Templar. He might just have enough Storms. That's how many? That's 6 High Templar. That's going to be at least 6 Storms. And here we go. Solar, he commits. There's a first Storm. Good connections. They turn away the Roaches. Oh, they take down the Queens. And another massive Storm. A massive connection. And there's still, what, 3 more Storms left? Oh, my God. And who needs shield batteries? Who needs them? We just have Storms. Jesus. Oh, my God. Yeah, the Storms, they just keep connecting. And Solar's army just crumbles. His army crumbles here before the might of the Storm. And Classic, he defends. He defends. He shuts down the all-in. Archon's morphing as well. Solar jumping into the main. Gets, oh my God, a lot of probes actually. A lot of workers do go down. Damage is being done. That's 27 probe kills. He's popping up 29. 30 probes go down. If it wasn't for this drop in the main base, then Classic would be miles ahead. But now his economy has been crippled, losing 30 workers. And Solar, bearing in mind, he's not droning. Like, these workers were transferred. He's not been droning up. He's getting ready for the second wave, for the second all-in. And Classic, because he lost all those workers, because his economy is stifled, he's struggling to reinforce. And remember, last time in his defense, he had 6 High Templar and 6 Storms. This time, 3. 3 High Templar. He is not as prepared this time. Here comes that second push. Rocks are being knocked down. Solar, doesn't commit yet. Rotating over. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Classic. As Classic, he needs extra warp ins. There's a first storm. There's a second. And we don't have that many left over. Again, no shield batteries. We got another storm of the roaches. That was the final storm. Just stalkers left. And Solar, does he have enough? Does he have enough? Yeah, he barely does. Takes down the oracles, takes down the stalkers as well. And again, without any shield batteries to support these stalkers, they're so exposed. And Solar, he's done it. He has done it. He breaks through the defensive line, takes down the main army, pushing in. And Classic, his initial defense was so impressive. It was such an impressive defense out of Classic. Except for the worker kills. Except for the drop in the main. Like, that may have just won Solo the game. That drop did 30 workers, like, killed 30 workers. It's crazy. And technically 23. If you remember, it's like 7 workers died in the lead up. So it was 23 pro kills. Still insane. And Classic, he cannot recover. He cannot, he will not. The motor goes down. GG, and Solar will take game number 1. Whew. GG, well played. A shaky game there, not gonna lie. It was very back and forth. Classic initially with the superior defense, with the mass storm, with the hold at the 4th base, without any shield batteries. But that double drop of Lings in the main base got 23 worker kills. It was 30 kills in total, but again, it was 7 workers died in the lead up to that kind of all-in. So it was 23 in total from that Ling drop, and with that, that was just far too much damage. Classic just could not sustain himself after those losses, so he could not keep up with the second wave. Could not keep up. GG, well played. With that, Solar does take a lead, and we'll see if Classic can bounce back. I believe he can. Like, again, like, that was still a very impressive initial defense from Classic. Did falter in the aftermath, but outside of that, was looking very impressive. We'll see if we can force the ace match. Let's go. As we are getting into game number 2, game 2 is going to be on ley lines. And as we get into game 2, a big shout out in the chat. Thank you so much, Baby God. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. Kank, oh, good. Kank, there we go, Kank. Thank you so much, Kank, for the gifted subs, 2 digits, actually. Thank you so much, Baby God. I apologize for not giving you a shout out at the time during the game itself, but thank you so much. I just didn't want to detract from the game and from the all-in that was happening. But thank you so much for the gifted sub. I do appreciate the support. Do appreciate the love. Gracias, Papi, gracias. Thank you. Thank you for the gifted sub, as we are jumping in and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, leading the series 1-0 for Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, down in the series. He has to fight back here and now to force that ace match. It is a Classic. Now, at this point, after 3 games with Solar, we have to pose the question here. Is he going to all-in every ZVP? Is that what we're going to be seeing here? Like, there are certain maps which is fine, right? Like, Frostline, all-in makes sense. Whispers of Gold also makes sense. Ley lines, here you can macro. Here, the map is working against you, and we do see some back and forth play. But in general, I know that a lot of Zerg players are not too fond of playing mid to late game ZVP. It is not necessarily favored. It is more difficult to pull off. So a lot of Zerg players would rather try to end the game early than lose in a longer game state. So we'll see what Solar's approach is going to be. So far, he has just committed to all-ins time and time again. We'll see if he commits here as well. We shall see. As Classic is just being as annoying as possible, just forcing some inefficient mining. Does force inefficiencies before eventually pulling away. And likewise, I know we're referring a little bit to the drop play from Solar and doing so much damage. At the same time, Classic also, I would argue, in a sense, almost underprepared. You know, again, no static defense, no shield barriers to defend, to survive the all-ins. Was crazy, which is why it was impressive to see him pull it off initially, but less so for the second wave. So we'll see how Classic does adjust. But now, Stargate opener into a 3rd base is what we're expecting. once again. As we are going to be soon moving out. Stargate's finishing up. And again, welcome one and all to Ley Lines. Ley Lines, I would say, is one of the more standard maps in the map pool. Is, yeah, kind of middle of the road here when it comes to the size. It is smaller compared to Abyssal Reef, compared to King's Cove, but larger compared to Wisps of Gold, for example. So, you know, it's kind of like a medium-sized map. Likewise, relatively defendable here at the ramps, at these choke points. If you recall, Hearthstone, unfortunately, he kind of misread the situation, didn't realize he was being all-in, and Hearthstone was caught with his pants down. Assuming that Solo all-ins again, we'll see if Classic is more prepared. I'm assuming he will be, but we'll see. As the Oracle does move out. Oracle moves out. Head up, say, Thread in the Shade. They shouldn't commit. Oh. As the Shade is cancelled. As just poking in. Keeping an eye on saturation. Ooh, as they do commit, and they're going to get surrounded. Yeah, one of Death will fall, the other as well. Better pick goes here for Solar, and we see no economic damage. As I say that Oracle, they dip in, they get 2 drones, they get 3. Not bad. 3 workers do go down. It's okay damage here from Classic, does escape. Behind this, going for his expansion and going for his Twilight Council as well. Now, last game we saw a Twilight Council without a Forge, and it looks like we're seeing that again. Interesting. And if you recall, this led into faster Storm as a result. That's a lot of gateways. Jesus. That's a lot of gateways. And getting up to 6 gates already. Meanwhile, Lair first out of Solar. I believe this time no Evo Chamber. Now, with the faster Lair, this could be for a couple different things. I'm imagining a more Roach Hydra-based composition, or maybe just rushing to pure Hydra. If we were to see a Spire, we'd see Tech first, just to be safe early on. As gases are being taken. And we'll see if Solar does skip out on that Roach Warren. And looks like he has. Oracles dive in. They get 2 drones. They get 2 workers so far. Overlord being hunted down. There's that Hydrogen, plus on range. So again, we're just rushing into Hydra. I'm a little bit surprised that we have no Roach Warren alongside this. So it's just going to be Ling Hydra, but Ling's going to be significantly weaker than they usually are. Just a big prioritization on the Hydras themselves. Ooh, actually, we're taking up. Okay, let's go. For the first time tonight, Solar, he is not all-inning. He's droning. He's not just on 3-way saturation. He does intend to saturate his 4th as well. Crazy. Okay. Let him cook, Pappy. Let him cook. Aha. Now, as Solar's building up, Classic is going to hit a very strong Storm timing. Now, as a reminder, remember, no Forge, no upgrades. We saw last game this led into 6 High Templar, which was quite effective defensively, but imagine that offensively instead. As Stalkers, they move in. Storm is soon about to begin. As he does break forward. Does break forward. Trading with the army. Again, Classic has no intention to commit in and to try to break a base. He's here just to trade. As he's waiting for Storm. And again, the High Temple, they're already gathering energy as we speak. There's going to be a very strong timing with that Storm. And I'll be honest, I'm really concerned for Solar. Like, this is a really aggressive style out of Classic and has a really big power spike. And Solar's being greedy. Again, with that infestation bit, we have a Hive on the way, we have Lurkers on the way. He's trying to rush into Lurker Tech, and he's joining up his 4th base. I am concerned that he's being too greedy here, and I don't know if he's going to survive that timing. We'll see if he can. We'll see if he can hold. Solar is going to be in danger here. Still dancing with the army. How many High Templar? Yep, 6. So just like last game, 6 High Templar. So for those that are curious, this is the same build from Classic 2 games in a row. Last game we saw this build be more defensive. Now we're seeing it be aggressive instead. And again, it has a lot of pushing power. We're waiting for the move outs. High Templar gets spotted. Lurker range is on the way. And we need those lurkers. There they come. 4 lurkers, 5 lurkers in production. Will they pop out in time? Classic should soon be moving out. Never mind. I assumed he was going to push, but no, Classic, that is a fleet beacon. He's working towards Sky Toss. So Classic looks like he has accepted the fact that he cannot break his opponent before the lurkers are ready, which is true. The lurkers are ready just in time, which means Solar, he gets away with it. He does defend. And Classic is playing for a longer, later game. Now, because of all these High Templar, Classic, he's in no danger. Like, he's in no danger of dying anytime soon or anything like that, so he can very carefully, very successfully get into a 4th base and start working into Sky Toss. And we're waiting for Solar to hit Critical Mass of Lurker. He's still building up. Poking forward. Classic out of position. Solar, he's going for the mineral line. Well, he's trying to, but 1 Lurker goes down. Down to 2. And brutal storms, and from 2 lurkers, gonna be down to 1. Down to 0. There we go. More reinforcing lurkers do move in. That was a big loss for Solar. Again, with all these High Templar, Classic, he's in no danger. Like, he's perfectly fine. Solar, he face checked the base and did cost him a bunch of lurkers. Solar going for a counterattack. Does go for a massive run by. Storm is in position. And nice defense here by Classic. He defends the 3rd. And Solar's taking up into the Spire. So thankfully, it looks like Solar, he recognizes that he most likely won't be able to break his opponents, and he has to build up towards that Sky Toss, or to deal with the Sky Toss. Smash is going up. Get some okay storms. Another storm popping up. Another storm. Lurkers are looking vulnerable. The first Tempest has arrived, and Solar has to get the hell out of here. Does scuttle away. Does scuttle back. Tempests are revealed. Likewise, Mothership on the way. More Stargates, more Tempests. Catching out a lurker. Not bad. Gets 1. Down 1 lurker. Oh. Moving forward. Trading with the army. Once again, trying to go for his own counterattack as well. So far, Classic, he's holding, he's defending, and he's attacking. And there's still just no good answer here to these Tempests. They'll attend the Queens. Get some brutal splash shots. Immortal goes down. And Classic here overextends. Does overextend with his ground army. That Classic, he has to retreat. Whew. And Solar, he's bought enough time. To what? To Corruptors. Corruptors, they're amassing as we speak here. They're building up. Solar, he can hold his own. He can replenish those lurkers, build up more Corruptors. But Classic's army is still terrifying. Corruptors, they go for the dive. They get 1 Tempest. They try to. Oh, never mind. Tempest does survive. Corruptors being forced back. And there's the cloak. Storm of the Corruptors. Corruptors, they will focus on the Mothership at least, and a nice Parabomb. Parabomb goes off. The Tempest, they stack. And does Solar have enough? It looks like he does not. Yeah, the Corruptors are falling one after the other, and the Sky Toss will prevail. As we're down to... Oh, actually, we're down to 3 Corruptors. Yeah, down to only 1. It was an intense trade. But Solar is out of anti-air. He only has lurkers left. Once again, he has to retreat. Has to pull back. Zella run by the left-hand side. Does get a mineral line. Drones are going down. And more Zelts are moving out. But this was a shaky hold, and Solar is trying to press his advantage. Comes in with the reinforcements. Takes down another Tempest. There's one Tempest left. Can he get it? He wants it. Oh my god. Barely won't get it though. Tempest does survive. Zealots are wreaking havoc. They get another mineral line. More drones going down. But where's the anti-air? Where are the Stalkers? Where are the Archons? As the carrier falls. Again, Classic, he barely has an army. So does Solar though. Solar also barely has an army to work with. Brings up the Zealots. Does clean them up. Rogers once again, they go for the dive. They will take down, not even the carrier. GG gets called. Solar, he runs out of steam, and Classic ties up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. GG. GG, well played. Again, Classic, a very interesting style as well. Like, bearing in mind, both games we saw the same build out of Classic, and I assumed he was going to be hitting a timing with those High Templar. He did not. Instead, he used them to be very safe and very secure. Like, at no point was Classic in any danger when it came to the first wave of Lurkers. Like, the Lurkers, they really couldn't do anything, and Classic successfully got into Skytals. He did get there, and we saw some shaky fights, is what I will say. Some very back and forth trades. Was very back and forth. And we saw that Classic was barely not able to hold on. Oh, sorry, he was barely holding on, I should say. With like one Tempest, one carrier. We went down to a handful of units. It was barely enough. GG. We're going to game 3. And we are loading into one of the larger maps in the map pool. Now, the one game that Solar played today where he didn't all in, did lose. Does that mean we see another all in here? It's possible. It's possible. Oh boy. I'm also really curious if Classic goes to the same build again. When it comes to the build that I'm referring to, it's where he does skip his Forge. He does go for a faster Templar Archives into 6 High Templar, into Mass Storm, and I guess into defensive play. I mean, it does feel like a really strong way to get into Skytals, as we saw. And again, looks very strong defensively as well. Like, game 1 still looked in favor of Classic if it wasn't for the Lings harass. It would have gone Classic's way. For now, though, we're jumping into the ace match, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss. Tying up the series. Can he go all the way? It is Classic. Here we go. And again, it was a very intense and very close fight between Classic and Solar, where Solar barely wasn't able to break Classic. And again, it came down to like 2 units. It came like Classic, he went down to 1 Tempest, 1 carrier. He was like barely kiting back to a cannon, to a shield battery, barely surviving. It was very close. And Solar, he almost broke him. He almost broke Classic, but not quite enough. Catching up in the chat. Just a Swarmhost all in. Kappa. I mean, if we were casting on El Dorado, I would actually consider that. There are definitely certain maps like El Dorado where Swarmhost play is more viable. But at the same, even though I say that, even then it's very stylistic. It's a very stylistic choice. Very stylistic, as players like Shin and Dark would go for Swarmhost. I don't think that Solar would, I'll be honest. he's not that kind of player, typically. Regardless, Hatch Gas Pool, Standard Opener. Solar forcing the Unnatural Natural. Forced to expand elsewhere. And we'll see if Classic can punish that. Not enough animal in Solar for Swarmhost. Exactly. So you understand. Solar, he's not enough of an animal. He is an animal, though. Like, based on the amount of all-ins we've seen so far tonight, it's like, we can say that at least. He is an animal. But, a little bit more tempered, you know? He's less wild. He's more like a tamed beast. Less so, you know, feral. Oh, God. Is that how I would describe Shin and Dark? No. Are they feral animals? Aye. Maybe a little bit. Oh my god. Wait, what? Classic. Calm down. I think the plan there, I think he was trying to throw down the pylon behind his probe to actually escape. Did blunder it a little bit here, and we have a robo opener. Okay. You have my attention. It's a robo opener here at a classic. This can lead into a 2-base all-in, into a Soul Train, true. This can lead into a Twilight Council, into Warp Prism, into Archon Drop. What do you have for us? Prism first. No Twilight Council. Are we gonna warp in sentries? What's happening here? What's going on? Okay. I was focusing. I was just assuming that Classic was just gonna play standard, but no. Okay, oh my god, it's a 2-base all in. Oh my, slow lots. Yep, slow lot. He pulls out. He pulls out a gas. Do you see what I see? No gas at the natural. Only one gas catcher in the main, and only one worker in gas. We're going back to 2021. Haas, is that you? This is a slow lot all in. And it may sound weird to you if you haven't seen this before. Slow load all in. Wait, I mean, can they do anything? The answer is yes, because, mate, the army comes to you. You don't need speed, you don't need charge. Overrated, Pipey. The slow lots, they can pop off. And if Solar is too greedy, if it doesn't realize what's going on, then this is a very hard all in to defend against. So Immortal Solar all in here from Classic. This was very trendy back during the Cosmic Sapphire era of StarCraft. That was like 2020, 2021, like the early COVID years of StarCraft. This build was invented by Haas. It was first showcased during the Taiwan Hong Kong DreamHack regionals, where Haas did flex this, and then after that, then everyone else picked it up, and it became mainstream for like a couple of months, and now we see it every now and then. Here we go. So Prism does head over. Yeah, here come the slow lots. Let's go. Are we gonna knock down the rocks? Like, what's the... Okay, we're gonna elevator. We're gonna elevate over. The slow lots, they have arrived. Ah, no. Slow and steady wins the race, Pappy. They're gonna be fine. Lings, they do get across map. They force the defensive warp in. Not bad. They force the defensive warp in, and we need spine crawlers. There we go. He knows. Solar, he knows what's going on. Very important here that he has time to respond. Spine crawlers on the way. Queens are amassing. Roaches are amassing as well. Solar, he will not be caught off guard. And he has to kite his heart out. As here come the slow lots. They're coming in. Lings go straight for the Immortal. Immortal gets surrounded. Does kite back. Immortal gets saved. As the army does rotate over. Headed towards the natural. Roaches are trying to keep up. So far, good kiting here by Solar. And again, it's all about kiting. He has to avoid that main fight. Once again, Lings, they catch reinforcements. And the Immortal's going to be saved. Oh, the juggling, the micro, saves the Immortal. Oh my god, it's getting so low. It gets so low, but does survive. At the same time, Stealth State get on top of the army. Queens are falling, no more transfuse. And the boys are being pulled. And Classic, has he done it? He's heading on over, he needs that Immortal. And diving on the main army. Shields are triggered. Oh, I'll pick up micro. And he does it. He breaks through. He breaks through the defense. The Queens have fallen. They were cornered. Roaches as well. That one Immortal with the backbone to the army. Still barely alive. Oh my god. One shot away from going down. Solar, can he clean up? It's still so close. Oh my god. Still so very close here. As every Queen has fallen. Down to only a handful of Roaches. And Solar, he lost 10 drones. 10 drones went down. Oh. Nice force field. Locks down the army. Roaches are building up. Solar, is he holding? Is he holding on? Can he pull this off? Oh my god. Oh no, the Immortal goes down. And with the Immortal going down, Solar, he just has to kite. He can kite. He can do this. There's no more Immortal. Oh my god. It does kite back. Stalker's warping in. Yeah, Solar, he holds. He does hold despite the warp ins. I mean, the Stalkers are helping. They're getting a lot of damage done. But despite that, again, without that Immortal, there's no backbone here. There's no power unit behind the army. Classic is running out of steam. And Solar, he survives. Let's go. As he chases back that prism. Oh my god. Whew. And with that, Solar, he now has an equivalent worker count. No lair, like the tech is lackluster. Classic back at home. Now pulling into gas. Now saturating. Immortal production has begun. And he's getting ready for a second wave. On the one hand, you could try to macro. True, you could try to macro out of this. Ooh, as Lings, they try to knock down that front door. Yeah, the gateway will fall. So far forcing a big reaction here. The Immortal has arrived. Another warp in. Solar is running up. Yes, we gotta be careful not to be too greedy. Oh, flash transfuse. Also, the queen goes down. Queen does fall. Nice pickup. Solar, he's getting up to 2 base saturation. Classic is still very much so all in. This time, though, with 2 immortals. Mate, you saw how much damage he got done with 1 immortal. Now he's got 2. 2 immortals here for Classic. At the same time, though, Solar, the roach count. Yeah, the roach count is getting too high. Getting far too high here. Solar, he should be fine. He has already weathered the storm. And now he has proper saturation. Now he has a proper army as well. Something that he did not have last time. Even some Ravagers. Ravagers as well. And I'll be honest, I didn't really see this working too well. I mean, maybe with the force fields. Like, if he can cut up the army, then potentially. There's potential. Here it does reinforce. Getting on top of the Ravager. Force fields, they lock down one of the queens. They get a queen, they get a roach. But is that enough? Ooh, as there's a spine cooler behind this as well. The Immortals are out of position. Yeah, the Immortals are not helping. They need to be here. Fighting off the left-hand side. Fighting time. Cells are running out though. And boys are being pulled. Ooh. Even Biles connect. And we're down to a handful of Immortals. Yeah, there's still plenty of roaches. Plenty of roaches here. Sully just shuts down the main army. And he will hold. He will hold. He will shut this down. There's 1 Immortal left. 1 Immortal remaining. I mean, again, it was an impressive attack. It was effective, but not good enough. GG gets called, and Solar, he will take the series 2-1. He will advance on to the semifinals. GG. GG, well played, Solar. He will survive, he will persevere, he will take the series. Congratulations. Again, it was so crucial that Solar scouted ahead of time. Remember, he did scout the all-in, he did confirm the slow lots, and we saw Solar respond by massing up roaches, spine crawlers as well, building up his queens. Like, Solar had precious seconds to react to the first all-in, seconds that otherwise wouldn't have been there if he wasn't as diligent when it came to his scouting. So he was able to keep up. And with that, GG. GG, well played. Solar, he will make it to the semifinals. And with that, we have some catching up to do. Let's go. So congratulations to Solar. My condolences to Classic. I'll be honest, this could have gone either way. I'll be honest, this could have been a 2-0 for Classic as well. Like, game 1 was also a very close game as well. Even here in the ace match, we saw that Classic was doing so much with so little when it came to the first all-in, but barely didn't quite cut it. GG, well played. As Classic does bow out, and we are now getting ready for the semi-finals. Let's go. As we switch our scenes over and catch up on the brackets.